Pronounced, defined, used in lexical dispatch.
Impromptu, adjective, adverb, and noun, made or done without any preparation or planning, an off-the-cuff speech or remark, without advanced preparation, hastily prepared. Periphery, noun, the outside boundary or surface of something, border, margin, the edge of an area, confines, circumference, the less important part of a group or activity. In anatomy, the area in which nerves end. His impromptu speech met with thunderous applause. Hours after the incident, an impromptu memorial had sprung up. The detective's remarks were mostly impromptu. Would you be ready to rustle up an impromptu supper if your girlfriend showed up? He could cleverly answer all the impromptu questions from the audience. I know this is impromptu, but I'm going to an oboe recital, and I thought you might want to join me. She's giving an impromptu press conference to the throng of adoring reporters. She went right to the victims, visited them, gave an impromptu speech at the hospital. Did he say what this impromptu meeting was about? No, but I'm guessing that he didn't like what he wrote. Sometimes these get-togethers are organized around an occasion. Sometimes they are impromptu and casual with just a few snacks and cookies. He's obviously thrilled to get an impromptu interview like this in mid-game. The commandant moves through the factory, conducting an impromptu inspection. The Institute was now past the stage of impromptu discussions and entering a period of formal development. The back-and-forth discussion between the guests and the students and the impromptu brainstorming that ensued engendered a creative process that both sides actively engaged in and enjoyed as well. Science has moved from the periphery to the center of those activities we regard as important to our national health, prosperity, and well-being. One might understand a critical position always to be mounted from the periphery and in opposition to the mainstream and majority view. Most low-income residents move from the city center to cheaper houses in the peripheries. There would be clashes on the periphery, but none between the major powers. In market exchange, economic behavior is quite different in cores and peripheries. He also had cold peripheries and reduced oxygen saturation, which may indicate a degree of anemia. In my opinion, empires don't reduce violence, they export it to their periphery. Imperial officials understood the loose hold of empire at its peripheries. Decentralization means letting people on the periphery make their own decisions, right? It remains to be seen if the buoyancy of the Eurozone score spills over to the periphery, or whether the periphery drags the core down. I want to first address the two periphery issues our democratic friends like to focus on, then the real issue. The plagiarism appears to be at the periphery of the work, nothing to do with the core concepts, nothing to do with the idea. The cells on the periphery are not sensitive to detail in the way cells at the center are. youths at the periphery were less likely to report unprotected intercourse and had been homeless for a shorter duration.